Hello again, glad to have you with me and welcome to another watercolour demonstration. Quickly whiz through the colours first. We've got ultramarine, cad yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber, light red. A large Ron Round Snake brush and 15 by 11 Fabriano watercolour paper. So I'm going to kick this one off with a big ink brush and just some clean water all the way over the paper. Then I'm going to go into a little bit of raw sienna. In fact, I'll give it a quick clean first, and I'll go back in with a clean brush. I'm just going to brush that in. Just a bit of background colour, clean the brush, and then I'm going to a bit of ultramarine. Brush that into the sky area, and watching as the paint comes down the paper. Just soaking it up as it comes down. Bit of blue down there, there's going to be some water down there. Clean the brush again, and then I might just go with a little bit of alizarin crimson, Payne's grey, just put the odd little cloud here and there in the sky. Not too much, just want to keep it quite subtle. I might just stay with that actually. A little bit down there in the water. Give that a quick dry. No, it doesn't have to be bone dry, just to stop that paint from coming down the paper. Right, at this point I'm switching to this flat brush here I've got. I'm going to put some distant buildings in, so I'm going to all those sky colours I've just used because these are really far back, but leaning towards blue, a bit more water. I want these quite faint, something like that. And then so just up horizon's going to be about there somewhere. So if you imagine we've got like a one, I did want it a little bit fainter than that actually. Not to worry. Just change that slightly. These are just things happening on the horizon line. Let's make that a little bit bigger. A few things going on down there. Some of this will be painted over with trees and whatnot. So for now, leave it like that for now. Clean the brush, and then just in front of that I'm going to get a bit of raw sienna, a little bit of burnt umber. Push that right up there. Blue. Put a few trees in front of these in a minute. And then what I'm going to do is clean the brush. I want to go back to a light colour now, some sort of distant grass. So let's just go into some cadmium yellow. Brush that in, straight across there. A little bit on this side as well. Bit of ultramarine, just to vary it slightly. Just coming slowly forward to our banks. Bit of burnt umber, ultramarine, quite a dark colour. Something like that. Do that again. First, make sure it's flat against the board. Just pulling it tight against this easel. I'll refix it with these, clip it with these little clips I've got. Quick dry now. Put some trees in. Right, I'm switching the little rigger brush I got. Just pop a few little marks in with this brush. So I'm going to start somewhat like that and then just flick it up like that. And then what I'll do once I've got this is I'll just pop a few little leaves and things growing on there. So I'm a little bit further away. So I'm just squeezing the water out of this height brush with my thumb and first finger, taking the rest of it off with a tea towel, and then a bit of burnt raw sienna, cad yellow, whacking some leaves into there, put those ones in that distant one. Bit of ultramarine, just to get a little bit of variation in there, slightly darker sections. So these are little trees there, just come down here like that, and down into this Winsor area down the bottom. So I'm just twisting the brush around, just get some random shapes. What I'll probably do is just dry it and then come back again on with it to get it darker. Clean the brush, I want to go back to a lighter colour, back into that yellow. We have some lighter things going on up there. Let's put out a few reflections while I've got that colour on the brush. And going back into these darks. A few little darks down there as well. Bit of this up just to let this thing dry down there. There's some more trees in there, bushes and twigs and things. A few things growing down there, whatever they are. Into a bit of red, just to get a bit of red down there, a bit of variation, just about see. Clean that brush, back to our darker colours, brown, blue. A few little things growing across there. Reflections down below. Let's just darken this a little bit, make it a little bit more visible. And I'll just put a few of those leaves and things on that one as well. So again, just clean the brush, took the dried it up on this tea towel. We've got the hairs going everywhere. I'm going into a light colour to start with. I don't want the same level as this, so this one's going to go right off the top of the page. One's there. Right off the top, and then some darker ones as well. A bit of brown, a bit of blue. Sort of darker shadowy areas. We've got a few little rocks and things coming down. Nice shoreline. key on all of that, so I'll just paint over what I don't like. Clean the brush. I'll just give that a quick dry first. Clean the brush, get rid of some of this water. I'm just going to go into some blue, and then I'll just sort of mix in with what's already on the paper. Bit of brown, bit more blue. Something going on up there. Again, get some darks there now. In all this area. Reflections down there. Oh, let's just get this flat. Back to the rigger brush. More things going out the banks. Things cutting straight across, a bit more water, brown, blue, nice and dark. Things cutting across there, look. Things coming straight up there, like that. And you find you have to keep constantly having to reload the brush. Especially having got used to the height brush. And a bit of just red, just to get some variation in there. Something else growing. Maybe flowers or things. A few red spots up there. I'm just going to try and break up some of these darks a little bit with some lighter colours, but I'm going to have to make sure this is dry first, this brush. I'm just going to go into some cad yellow. Something like that. To be honest, sort of just experimenting a lot of it. Something down there, and then a little bit on the other side, I think. Down by the river bank. A bit of darker amongst that. Probably totally overworked it, but I'm just going to get down there just a few little rocks. Just a few. Little rocks coming down to the water's edge, I think, as well on this side. And just pick up some things down there. I think I'm going to call that one done. I think I've overworked it enough, to be honest with you. All I'm going to do is pop a little bird just up there, and then stick my hand rather awkwardly. So it's all that looks like the main song. So here's our painting in the main, so let's have a closer look. Very simple sky, bit of raw sienna and then a bit of ultramarine. That was brought right down. You can see all I've done in the water was just put a few little reflections. Other than that, I've just left it just light in tone, just to contrast against the dark banks. Then in the distance we've got some buildings, using the same colours as the sky. Maybe could have done with them slightly, well, sort of that light in tone rather than, mind you, I don't know if it makes that much difference, to be honest with you. Little bit of flat brush work here, suggests a few buildings and things right in the distance behind all these massive trees in the foreground. Then we got some light grasses again, just before we get into these darks by the riverbank. Same on the other side, some light sort of trees and things behind these darker stuff here in the foreground. Now initially I think I'd put it in really dark, and these banks, it was just looking a little bit boring, so that's why I had to introduce some slightly lighter areas, and then put a few rocks in and a few reeds and grasses and stuff using the plastic card, just to try and spruce it up a little bit. Same on this left hand side, I've just tried to scrape in a few little rocks here and there, flicks up to create some grasses and reeds by the water's edge. Plenty of rigger work amongst these trees there, branches and twigs and things all over the place, and then a bit of dry brush work to suggest a few leaves and all the foliage on the trees. Same on the left hand side, just a bit of cad yellow first, then introduce a bit of ultramarine just to darken it slightly in the middle there. So that's it for this one, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.